Hello and welcome to another episode of the Pickleball Jones. My name is Brad. As always, I am joined by Doc. Doc, where are you calling from today?
I am humbled. I am humbled because I am videoing from the Kitsap Peninsula. I am less than 2 miles across the water from the Bainbridge Island, the birthplace of pickleball. So I am humbled to be here and recording from the great state of Washington.
Well, I
And
love to hear it. Go
and
ahead.
also, and one more thing, as you'll see, my cap here. We're just honoring the 1 year anniversary of us summiting the tallest peak in the contiguous 48 states 1 year ago. We summited 14,505 feet, Mount Whitney in Lone Pine, California. So that's what this hat's all about.
Yeah, love it, love it. Well, today I am rocking all MLP stuff. This is a Miami Pickleball Club hat or shirt or hoodie, I guess. And this, of course, is my Orlando Squeeze hat signed by Anna Bright. So thank you, Anna, for signing my hat.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, very exciting, very
You're,
exciting.
you're connected.
I'm going to say, like, we did record a podcast, but due to some technical difficulties, we had to re-record a podcast, and so that is what we're doing here. So we have a lot to get into. We're going to talk about Cincinnati PPA. We're going to talk about the PPA MLP merger, and of course, we're going to go over an MLP Atlanta preview and just talk about MLP in general. But my cold open question to you, Doc, is: are you more of a team fan or a player fan?
Team fan or a player fan? I'm going to go with, and we touched on this not in great depth once before. You had a very good analogy, and it's apropos with the Ryder Cup coming up. That the Ryder Cup's very exciting, but you don't want to see the Ryder Cup every month or every 2 months or every year even. And so I'm the same thing. I'm for the players versus the team. I do like
What
the
about
team.
outside of pickleball though, Doc? Like, are you like you're? I know you're an Indiana fan, so like you are IU fan, true and true. But actually, I don't even know. Do you like other teams? Are you just more of a player fan? Because me personally, I don't give a shit about any team, but I do. There are certain individuals who I like and want to see what do well, regardless of what team they're on, and other ones that I don't give a shit about, and I don't want to see them do well, and so I like kind of root against them. But not so much teams, except for the Celtics. I hate the Celtics.
Well, keeping with my personality, I like Indiana, and I hope every other team loses every game in every sport. Now, I do have those
Perfect.
ranked in a hierarchy with Purdue and Kentucky and Duke and so on. But yeah,
Yeah.
so no, if Indiana loses, I hope they cancel the rest of the season in basketball. I'm sorry, sports. So no, I got Indiana. I got nobody else. And once you leave Indiana and go to the
Yeah.
NBA or the NFL, no, you're dead to me. I don't care what you do. Go
Fair
ahead
enough.
and
No, I asked because I would like put this thing together, and I'm looking at the MLP teams and things like that, and I see that they have different, like, the Chicago Slice, the Utah, things like that. I'm wondering if anybody from that state or from that city will ever be a fan of that team. In my mind, there's just, I don't know if you will, like, I feel like you're just gonna like you might be like, oh, I'm a Chicago Slice fan, true and true, but you'll probably more or less be like, I'm a Ben Johns fan, or I'm a Anna Bright fan, or I'm a whatever fan. But that's what I was thinking.
yeah, I think so. I think it's going to be, especially they changed from the Challenger to the Premier and all that.
Yeah.
So it's hard to get too aligned with any one team. I would think it's going to go more with individuals than, than the team. And what the hell is with? Well, we'll get into it later in the MLP. I don't want to bring it up right now.
All right, all right,
But
all right. Well, let's start off with
within the
Cincinnati PPA.
okay,
All right, so Cincinnati PPA, we got to talk winners and losers. The first thing we got to bring up, obviously, is day one in the singles division: Tyson McMuffin versus our man Loong from the other podcast. They got into it, and so I don't know. I'm going to play the little clip that we have here, but overall, Doc, I want you to know, I want you to hear, like, what is your take on the Tyson versus Loong beef, I guess.
all right. Let's see the clip.
Yeah. So as we can see on camera, paddle tapped Then goes over to Loong, tells him to go fuck himself, gives him a few fingers, calls him a few other things. So anyway, yeah.
Yeah. All right. I was doing my
Well, go
best,
ahead.
John Boy lip reading. There's Tyler clapping. Oh Jesus, that's lame. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he called him a fucking pussy, and then he definitely said that's fucking bullshit. He said that right to his face. You definitely can read that. So,
Yeah.
but my take on it is we're a little late. This has happened, so it doesn't seem as volatile right now. But anyway, I thought Mr. McMuffin probably should have done that off court. I don't think it's a good look for pro pickleball to do that on court, to air some grievance about a podcast uh, disagreement on court. At least I think that's what it was about, on court. Should have done it in the locker room, taken them and, bitched at him there or done whatever. And the other thing is, I think Tyson should have had, from what I understand, a little thicker skin. We've watched a lot of the King of the Court podcasts, and the one that was in question before this, what old Jimmy said was that not that egregious, something about his wife carrying luggage or some lame thing. So I think Tyson, you're a superstar in pickleball world anyway. You got to have a little thicker skin than that. So that'd be my Tyler won through his podcast partner, which we know would never happen here. All the stupid shit I
No.
say, it goes with you. You
We
would never
pod
throw.
together, we die together, baby. We don't we
That's
ain't
it.
throwing each other
That's
under
it.
buses.
No. That's the first thing you said. I didn't say it. Oh, it's your podcast, you jackass. Yeah, all right, you didn't say it, but it's your podcast. And if it's something so egregious, you should have, disagreed with your partner. So that was one
Yeah.
thing. And the other thing is you can't sit there and smile and take that shit from Tyler, even though he could kick your ass. You got to at least say, go F yourself, or you got to come back. Now, he was taken by surprise and he wasn't expecting it, but you still can't let somebody. Can you imagine NFL or some other sport, some guy, coming over and doing it? I mean, no, there would be fireworks. You at least got to say something. So I think he was
Yeah.
a little weak on that.
No, fair enough. I don't. Well, first and foremost, like just seeing these type of fireworks is exciting. I think it's good for the league. I like to see it. I know it's not the best look for each of the individuals. Tyson looked like a shithead. Tyler looked like a puss. I don't think you
Yep.
can say that
Yep.
anymore, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, like even this week, and not to go into the MLP aspect, those two teams are going to meet the very first game of MLP, and we're all excited to watch it just because of these like this dramatics and things like that.
Yeah.
And plus, like I don't know, Tyson does look like a fiery dude, and it is just kind of fun just to watch these two, this meathead kind of like get upset about some crazy
Yeah.
shit and just sitting back and just kind of laughing about it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's good for the league overall. I think it's a bad look on both of them, but overall, I'm going to give each of them a loser, but I'm going to give the altercation as a whole a big winner.
Yeah, everybody loves to see it. It's like the fourth turn at the Indy 500. You love to see it, but yeah, I'm not sure it's a good thing. And yeah, maybe he went after some low hanging fruit. He knew Tyler would not come back, and that may have played into why he went after him on the court. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Tyler looks more like a lover than a fighter, that's for sure. But also, like, you cannot be throwing your podcast partner under the bus like that. That was fucked up. Like, you know what I mean? I would never do that to you, Doc.
no, all the stupid shit I say, you got to own it, and that's too bad. But yeah, we're brothers.
That's it. That's it. All right. Well, another winner, Ben Johns. He got 100 wins overall in PPA. This is obviously monumental. They gave him his own his own paddle, his own trophy, things like
Oh,
that. And his
wow.
whole family actually came out to see it, which was really cool. Some people said that like the family's like a little way too close, and it makes them feel cringy or whatever. But I don't know. Like all of his sisters, his grandparents, everyone was there. I was at Cincinnati Open. They were all sitting in the same row I was, and it was just cool just to see the family like celebrate Ben Johns, and he's out there crushing it. I mean, we've talked about this before, but in my mind, he is at a different tier than everybody else. And when you think about sports, you have your high school athletes, and then you get graduated to a collegiate athlete, and the difference between like a collegiate athlete to a high school athlete is monumental. Then another step is collegiate to a pro, and it's just like a whole another like level and things like that. And then if you are like a superstar within the pro division, there's an even bigger jump. And
Yeah.
Ben Johns is in like that Michael Jordan, like Tiger Woods, that type of like jump where he is so far above his peers that he's just a different specimen. And we were kind of going through all the different sports and different like people who are the head or like the best in their sport. And the only person who is close to Ben Johns is Wayne Gretzky in terms of
Yeah.
what they were able to accomplish within their sport. So Ben Johns getting 100 wins, he's going to have a lot more, I'm sure. And it's just pretty cool to see. And I'm just glad that we get to watch it.
Yeah, I thought, the nepotism turns some people off, with his sister interviewing the two brothers. I mean, it gets, you think it's a little bigger world than this, these three people. So that
Yeah.
turns some people off, but you and I are pretty much Ben John lovers until something comes out, some skeleton comes out of his closet, which he may or may not have. We're all on Team Ben Johns. So
Fair
good
enough.
for him. Yeah, good for him, and
Can,
more power to him.
can I tell you, one of the groups that I'm in or whatever, all the internet trolls and things like that, they never say his name Ben Johns. They just refer to him as MBFF. I'm going to give you 100 guesses to guess what MBFF stands for.
M M B M B F
FF.
F.
That's correct. You're going to like this one. It stands for mouth breathing fart face.
The fuck? Come on. Wait, high school? Was
I'm
it
telling
junior
you. I'm
high?
telling you.
This is
Yeah,
middle
but
school.
anyway,
Come on.
that's his name and the forms, I guess. So
All right.
if you ever see NBFF, just know that's referred to Ben
Got
Johns.
it.
But
I'll write that down.
anyway, another winner, and I have a clip for it, is Rafa Hewett, who was partnered up with your girl,
Yeah.
Tyra Black, and they had an awesome weekend, which just had a bunch of highlights. And so this was their match against. Oops. Just make sure this is
McGuffin?
Sharon McMuffin, yeah,
Yeah.
and Parento. And this whole match was fantastic. But watch this move right here with Rafa, takes it behind the back, and somehow they win this point. Very cool to watch. And yeah, there's just a lot of this type of dramatics within this match, and a few of the others too. So definitely give them a watch. Look at that foot fault by Tyson McMuffin. We love to see it. Rafa Hewett like pumping up the crowd. One of the people that we didn't like in the beginning, but
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
he told me how to beat that one guy in singles, he's now on my
Yeah.
on my my good list. But yeah, overall, Rafa giving him a winner. Hurricane also showed up big, so also giving him a winner or giving her a winner.
Yeah.
Sorry.
A footfall. You can't step on the line. I didn't know that.
Yeah, we know you didn't know that.
Oh, uh, or I don't pay attention to it. Maybe that's a better word. But yeah, they say this was the best match of the whole tournament. You were there. You did not see this one in person, though. This
No, I did
match.
not. I did
Yeah,
not.
but you were there. But they say it's the best match of the tournament. And yeah, our girl Hurricane, she just keeps improving and looking good. An aside, which we'll get into real briefly, is there was some big money to be made on this on
Oh yeah.
FanDuel on this match
Tell us more.
because these guys were down what 2 games to none, uh, and you could have got them at a plus. I don't know what it was because the FanDuel app is still a work in progress, shall we say, when you try to do inline betting. But you could get them now a very high plus number. I don't know. It's probably a plus 800. So,
Yeah.
you could have done very well in this match if you put a small wager Hurricane and Rafa. And so that would have been a good match to have a few bucks on.
Yeah, and I know we also saw one with Anna Bright and Ignatovic where they were down 1-0, and
Right.
because of that, like the line was like terrible, and they ended up coming back to win it or whatever. But so there's a lot of money to be made. That being said, like we were talking about, the app is still a little finicky, and it will get better with time. And when it does, we will be the premier pickleball betting podcast on the planet. So get ready
We
for
will.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. The
Nice.
10 states that kind of hamstrings us. Yeah. So,
Yeah, no, we'll get there eventually. But the other winner for me was Federico. So Fed beat Ben Johns in the singles finals, 2 games to 1, or yeah, 2 games to 1, and came back. I believe it was 8-3 in the final, or in the last game, and Fed fought his way back against Ben Johns and ended up with the gold. So got to give that guy, anytime you beat Ben Johns and
sure.
stop
Yeah.
him from getting gold is a time to count it. Oh, I meant to say too with Ben Johns, the one impressive stat is he's got a medal in every single tournament he's been in. That's
Wow.
pretty cool. Yeah, anyway,
Yeah.
sorry.
He's good. Well, I know someone else, another winner, someone else
Uh,
who won a medal in Cincinnati. Oh, you're too modest. Our young man over
yes,
there, Brad, he took bronze in the men's doubles 4.0. So
yes,
shout
yes.
out to you, Brad. Too modest to bring it up, but you did well. Proud of you. Good
Thanks,
job.
man. Thank you. Yeah, we're slowly moving our way up from 3-0 all the way to 4-0. Here we go.
Yeah.
Well, another group of AZ guys who I put into my winners, and I will share a clip here, and you'll even see me on the right hand side in the orange sweatshirt over there. Are these two individuals from Arizona? They played up against the Johns brothers, and the reason why I play this clip
Oh
is
yeah.
they're
There
getting their
you
ass
are.
kicked, obviously. Yeah, they're getting their ass kicked. Ben Johns knocks a lob right over his shoulder, and they had some choice words that were very loud for the entire crowd to hear, and for Ben Johns to hear, of course, where it was like, "Hey, good game, and go fuck yourself," because he hit that ridiculous shot. And I just like to see anybody joking around and having a good time. So yeah. Anyway, good work to the guys from Arizona.
Yeah.
All right, and then one of my favorites. We got to bring it up. Our favorite loser, Riley Newman. So Riley Newman, he's a loser for a lot of reasons, but this is one of my favorite clips right here. It's a concussion watch. So he takes one from Colin Johns right here, gets him,
Oh,
and I just love to see it. We'll get a quick replay. It wasn't a full like into the head type of thing, but it's close enough that we're going to count it as a concussion watch because he got close there. Um,
yeah.
and this isn't the first time that we've seen this, and this was something that Odoff, who is like another pickleball like savant, somebody who's like very big in the online pickleball world. She pulled up this old clip from the 2019 World Pickleball Championships, and if we see it, it's just a replay of just Colin Johns just trying to just remove people's heads, including Riley Newman, because apparently Riley Newman had been kind of a piece of shit, as he usually is. And so, anyway, I just love this clip, and it made me laugh a lot. So we will stop there, but I'll stop there and kick it over to you because I know Riley Newman is a loser for you as well.
Well, he is. And the funny part about that clip, Colin Johns, I mean, he tagged him and then, gave him the, he tagged him on
Yeah,
purpose. I mean, he wanted to hit him so bad. But yeah, Riley Newman's a loser. He's still on that list. I don't see him getting off it anytime soon, really. I mean,
yeah,
he's going to have to I don't know, find a cure for cancer, build a children's hospital. He's going to have to do something of great magnitude to come off the shit list. So, but when you said concussion protocol, leads us to a little discussion because we had a close friend. But also, did you know Friday, September
hmm
15th was, you don't know it, you should know this, Concussion Awareness Day.
no, I did not know this.
What the hell is this? Concussion awareness. I mean, all right. I mean, I need a day. Concussion awareness day. What the hell?
Yeah,
How do you get a day just devoted to concussions? I don't know.
I,
But
I don't know. I don't know. Well, I mean, I guess it's good it's out there because one of our friends, Miss Grace Lynn, one of our favorites, she
yes,
actually experienced a concussion from pickleball, allegedly. Like, we haven't, we weren't there to see it personally, but
we've
from everything that we've gotten, she's still suffering the effects for it. Got hit in the temple while playing pickleball, knocked her out, and she's been. I don't know, like feeling the symptoms ever since. That was almost like 2 weeks ago now. So not good. Our thoughts and prayers are with you there for a safe and quick recovery.
yeah, we don't want to impugn her integrity, but we don't have video evidence. We do have a doctor's excuse. She did get off work for 4 days. So she tried to submit that as somehow proof that she had a concussion. So we're going to have to accept that at face value for right now. But
Yeah.
yeah, concussions, no good. But I did a little research. All of a sudden, everyone, it seems to me, everyone's all wigged out about concussions, particularly in pickleball and injuries in pickleball. And I think it's an overreaction. And concussions are rare in pickleball, very rare. And so, you know, just
So what does your research tell us? How many people are going to the hospital every year for pickleball related injuries?
20,000 ER visits. And
Man,
they didn't even concussion wasn't even on the diagnosis in the top 99%. Concussion was not on there. So eye injuries was very because everybody talks about wearing glasses, and so these weird things can happen. Is what I'm getting at in sports,
okay,
and you can't mitigate against every potential complication playing sports. You
yeah.
step out on the court, stupid crap can happen. And I mean, there's some things, you don't pedal backwards when someone lobs it over your head and have the right shoes, and a few things might help. But otherwise, you step out there and, it's unlikely you're going to have a serious injury. And it seems to be getting blown out of proportion. And half the stuff they tell you to do beforehand is not going to prevent any of these types of injuries anyway. So, you know, I think it's an overreaction on some of these. And I'll probably get a lot of grief about that, but that's the way it is.
It is what it is.
See, yeah,
Uh,
the dog doesn't agree.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, so I guess that's our concussion watch. Once again, we just can't get
Yeah.
away from it. We just have concussion talks all the
No,
time. But our
yeah, but statistics tell us
uh,
differently, but we keep hearing of it. I don't know.
yeah,
Maybe
so
maybe they just haven't caught up, and more people are playing, and it's going to become a phenomenon of pickleball. Concussions is going to be a yeah,
we'll wait to find out. I can tell you one
yeah,
thing: I will never be wearing a helmet on the pickleball courts.
yeah, yeah, and
Uh,
yeah,
so I was at Cincinnati Open, as Doc mentioned earlier. I got to play, which was awesome. The two observations I have for you are: one, it is still surreal being around and being amongst the pros because of the smallness still of pickleball. It is not like going to an NBA game or an NFL game or an MLB game where you are, detached from these people. They are just right there with you. And my partner Jordan was playing with me this last time, and we showed up to the hotel. He sees Annalie Waters, and he's just like, "Oh my God, there's Annalie Waters!" And I'm just like, "You just wait." And then we're walking through the facility, which the Cincinnati tennis facility is amazing. So like by far, out of all the PPAs and MLPs I've been to, that's the nicest venue I've seen. But we're walking through, he's just seeing all the pros, and you're just amongst them. You're walking around with them. They're waiting for you or waiting around with you, just like you're waiting for courts, and it's just really cool to see. So if any of our listeners have not been to one of these events, they keep expanding where they're putting them. And so just make sure you get out to a PPA, get out to an MLP, because it is unlike anything you've ever been to, just because of all these people who you hear about and you see on YouTube and whatnot. They're just right there, and it's just a very cool thing to do. Yeah, the Doc, I know you've been to some of these, so what do you got?
yeah. I think that's part of the appeal. I think the number one appeal of pickleball, though, is the learning curve is so you shoot right up steep, and you're at 80%, 85% of your ability rather rapidly, and so I think that's the number one appeal. Second appeal is yeah, it's You're right there with you go, oh, I can do that, and you watch them, and then once you actually see them in person, you go, no, I couldn't
Yeah,
do
there
that.
ain't a chance.
Uh,
Ain't a chance.
yeah, no, you get one of those firefights, you're dead. You think
Yeah,
yeah, you're not even close. All you have to do is play a 5-0, on your recreational court, and you'll learn a lesson real quick. But that's the
yeah,
appeal, is that you can rub shoulders there with Ben Johns. I can chase him down to get his autograph, and yeah, I think that's what
it's cool.
the fans like. Yeah.
My other observation was I'll just do one more, and it was J.W. Johnson and Dylan Frazier were walking by, and they were in the finals. And some guy, or this is the day before the finals, walks up to us like, "Hey, congratulations on the finals. Do you think, or have you ever beaten Ben Johns and Colin Johns before?" And they both looked at each other, and then J.W. answers and goes, "Oh yeah, we have," and like with the biggest smile I've ever seen, like just a big shit-eating grin, which you never see J.W. really smile
No.
that much or like have any type of words whatsoever. And so just seeing that interaction made me very happy because I like to see any personality come from that man.
Yeah, I've never seen him. One match, his sister, when they were playing mixed doubles, his sister
Yeah.
said something to him and he smiled. Other than that, no, straight face.
Yeah.
But he doesn't. He's not pouting. He's not frowning. He's not smiling. He's just blank.
Yeah, that's
So
it. That's it.
I like it.
Yeah.
I
So, all
like
right.
it.
I know you do. Well, we'll move on. So, in other news, the PPA and the MLP did come to some terms. They did merge, and now they are one entity. And this feels like it would happen forever ago, but I think it literally only happened a week ago. But basically, this was a whole big thing, right? The PPA, MLP tour wars happened. Everyone's getting signed for all sorts of money. And lo and behold, they have come together in a merger. So, Doc, give me your overall thoughts. What do you think about this?
Well, it's pretty easy to figure out. The only
Yeah.
thing billionaires like more than themselves is money. So
Okay.
the narcissistic, they're gonna say they were gonna do whatever they could to make sure they put an end to any outrageous expenditures or salary wars or whatever. So I think that's what was behind it. And anyway, they didn't even announce anything. So I did a little, okay, what's the merger? Or what's it's not a merger even. They
Okay.
used a word as a not a partnership, but basically they're just trying to keep the two tours from having scheduling conflicts and from the players playing against each other at certain times. So they haven't announced any details that I could find, and so it's just
Mhm.
they just came out and said, "Hey, we got to we got to work this out," and I certainly is just for financial reasons. And yeah, I think for yeah, going forward, it's going to have to be some kind of hybrid or mixture of the two things. It can't support two tours, no way. And then TV eventually is going to what's going to drive it. And once they
Yep.
get some drive contract with TV, then that's going to drive either the PPA or the MLP. But for right now, it was more. I think it was more of a truce as far as what I could decipher.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that they did come to putting people on the board. So there's going to be 5 board seats available, 3 of which went to MLP, 2 that went to
Oh,
PPA.
okay.
A lot of the big players did get their names, like I guess like the people who were running MLP and PPA, they did get to stay on and stuff like that. They're still in the trenches and whatnot. But there were some details like that that were hashed out. I would say that the biggest thing that's going to come from this is exactly what we wanted. We were hoping that these 2 tours would basically just kind of keep everything the same. And I guess the bigger drama that is occurring is now on the player side. And this is one of those things where if you just did a little bit of research and you kind of just like looked at the history books to find out, what should I do in this situation? What we found out was that PPA, because they were on their back legs, right? MLP went in the beginning, did a sneak attack, and started signing players. And when they did so, they signed them with like these contracts that were like, "Hey, here's a contract. You sign it, and you cannot get out of it. If you try to get out of it, you have to pay like $500,000. It's like a ridiculous, like a break the contract fee and things like that." And so they went in and started signing these players, and these players very early on felt pressure to do it, and also had their allegiance with MLP, and they were like, you know what, like MLP has always treated me right, even though they've only been at like a league for like a year or two.
Yeah.
Like, but they're the ones, and PPA's always fucked me over. So you know what, fuck them. Like I'm going with MLP. I'm going to sign it whatever they offer me or whatever. Lo and behold, PPA, because again they didn't have anybody and they didn't have the head start that MLP did, started offering ridiculous amounts of money to people. And even still, some people were like, but I'm going to go with the MLP because, they treat me nicer and stuff like that. And very similar to the PGA and the Live Tour, which happened very recently. So you don't have to go that far into the history books to find out. Like, all the players who stuck with the PGA got fucked, right? Like, they didn't make the money that they had. Like, the Live Tour had something like where they offered Tiger Woods $1 billion per year to be on the tour and things like that. He turned it down because, this or that. And a bunch of players did. And then what happened I don't even think it was 2 years, but I think it was like a year and a half later, those two things merged. And very similar here, all these players are pissed off because, I took MLP, I took less money. These PPA players, Kwang Dong is making $500,000 and I'm over here making nothing. And everyone's bitching about it. But it's like, hey, you should have just looked back. You should have known that these two things were going to merge. And so you might as well take the biggest money you can, because at the end of the day, MLP is not going to give a fuck about you. And they're just going to merge and just keep it rolling. So get your money while you can. And again, I don't know. I have no sympathy for them, but I'm happy that all the players are getting paid more than they used to.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably in the minority, but fuck the PGA. If you want to go that's your, go make at least we don't have the overriding blood money, Saudi money in this, at least. But you knew if the MLP, is he a billionaire? The guy, the head of the MLP, isn't he a billionaire or some such thing? Yeah. So you knew, their money, it was good. Their salaries. When he said, yeah, you can 500, you could count on it. In the old days, we talked about before the ABA and all, when they imploded, they had no money. Dr. J couldn't get paid. He signed some outrageous contract, but ABA ran out of money. This guy's not going to run out of money. So, this is pretty much, it's a truce.
Yeah, I would say and I get like the blood money aspect of things and stuff like that, but I don't know. Like, very similar to that one girl who I wanted to date with who told me I couldn't say the word Columbus because saying the word Columbus is like saying the N-word, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. Meanwhile, she's texting me on an iPhone that was made by Chinese slaves. So you know what I mean? Like, we're all hypocrites in our own way. So let's not worry about it.
Yeah, fucking Joe Biden's over there fist bumping the Saudi whatever king or whatever he was. Yeah, really? Yeah. Okay, and you're worried about the money? No.
Yeah, like I said, just look out for yourself, take the money when you can, and know that at the end of the day, all these things are going to merge into each other, and so you might as well just make yourself rich and happy. Anyway, that's my overall takes. Let's get into MLP Atlanta, which happens this Friday, or actually it starts on this Thursday for the lesser league, I guess, but the Premier League is going to be starting on Friday. I'm super excited about it. Doc, I know you've been to an MLP event in Mesa, but this year we've had, or I guess like this season 2, we had a new draft with new teams. And so first and foremost, I want to find out who are your favorite teams, who are your least favorite teams, and just what are your overall impressions of season 2 as we get ready for it?
Well, I'm excited.
I like that you put on the glasses. That's how I know some good shit's about to come, is you get your glasses on.
I don't. No, it's more that I can't remember. You told me to pick. The problem is the MLP doesn't have the contract that I know of with FanDuel. Otherwise, I could put my money where my mouth is. In other words, I could give you these picks and tell you, here, lay the money. And that's what's going to happen in the future. We're going to say, right here, this is where you do it. Lay your $1.50 or $5 or whatever I usually bet. We talked about that, right, already? That FanDuel had to raise it from $5 to $10.
Oh yeah, we got that in a podcast. Don't you worry.
Okay, that they had to change it because I was holding up all the big bettors with my $5 bets. But anyway, you told me to pick the 2 winners from each group, and then I'll go over my overall favorite.
Well, hold on. Before you thought about that, before you get into that, I just meant like for the season as a whole. Like, who are you most excited to watch? Who are you least excited? Who are you actively rooting against? Like, let's just talk about season 2 before we get into Atlanta.
You could not pick a team. Well, yeah, I suppose you could. It's got your two girlfriends on there.
Uh-huh.
I just can't stand them. I don't know. It's me. There's no reason. Callie Joe Smith and Elise Jones.
Uh-huh.
They're, uh, they are on Dallas. I
Yeah.
can't stand the two of them. So they would be my most. I can't stand watching Callie Joe. First of all, her name. Sorry, you should be in Nashville or some country star, not playing pickleball. Callie Joe. I know
Mm-hmm.
that's hurtful, but in this Elise, uh, or that's Callie Joe Smith, but Elise Jones, you like her rolling around doing her volleyball crap. It's annoying.
Yeah.
Stay on your
Okay.
feet. Stay on your feet. Okay, that's one team I despise,
Yeah.
and then the other team you couldn't make this one up. Riley Newman and the Tweener King, right?
Yeah. On the same
Also
team.
on the same team, and for some unknown reason, I have a bias against Kawamoto twins. No, did we figure out if they're twins or sisters yet? We went over this before. I don't know why I
They're
don't like them.
twins.
They seem nice enough, but I don't like them. But you then pair them with the enemy number one, public enemy
Uh-huh.
number one, Riley Newman, and you got the
Yeah.
Tweener King, which I really don't mind the guy. I just like to see him lose because he's going to smash a paddle.
Yeah,
And so,
absolutely. Or cry. He's definitely going to cry,
yeah,
and he will
yeah,
probably smash a paddle.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
actually, I
that's
have
my
video of him smashing a paddle in Cincinnati. Like, it wasn't even like watching on YouTube. I literally just recorded it because I could see that he was seething with anger and he was about to break a paddle. And sure enough, not 1 point later, he smashed the shit out of his paddle.
Well, did you get? You got to get smashing a paddle and crying at the same time, because then
Yeah,
that would
love to
be
see
the.
it.
Yeah, but anyway, so those are two teams that I will be actively rooting against, and of course, the one team I'll be rooting for is our hero Ben Johns, and so
All right.
he's got his hands full. I don't think he has
Yeah.
the strongest team, so he's gonna really gonna have to. He'll carry his weight, but he's gonna have to elevate the other games. I think that's not the strongest team.
When I gave you this homework assignment of like, going through the rundown of what we're going to talk about today, on there, the only thing I had was which teams are you most excited to watch in season two? And what you came up with was the first thing you did was the two teams you aren't excited to watch, and the two teams you're excited to root against. And then you gave us one that you like. I think to your point, the Ben Johns, Jesse Irvin, Lacey Schneeman, Eric Lang is going to be a tough one. I haven't really seen Eric Lang. I know he's just a tall dude. He's
Yeah,
older.
yeah,
I like Lacey Schneeman because she's the engineer that used to work for Boeing and just recently quit. So that way she could be a full time. So I like her just because we love our smart people and whatnot.
yeah.
Jesse Irvin, she's getting old, man. She's just getting old. Doesn't move around as well. We know she's a great dinker, but we'll see how this is like.
Yeah,
We'll see. But yeah, let's see it, Ben Johns. This is gonna be a tough one.
that is.
Cool. Yeah, I guess like overall, Doc, who do you think is going to win the overall season? Not the Atlanta, just in general. Like as we're going, who's going to improve the most and just win this outright?
Okay, I got it.
Okay, go for it.
I, I got it. The two teams in the final, you could write this down right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You got Utah, Black
Yeah.
Diamonds, Annalie, Miss Terashenko, Wilson, and AJ Kohler. They're going to be
Yeah.
in the finals. That's a solid team. Okay,
Yeah.
and this is kind of a long shot, somewhat long shot.
Okay.
I'm going with the Atlanta, whatever the hell they're. And anyway, who comes up with these nicknames? Half of them are the Pickleball Club. They can't come up with a
Okay.
freaking nickname. But anyway, Atlanta with Parris, Todd, and Simone, who I did not know were
Yep.
partners on the APP.
Yeah, they're crushing it. They win every time that
Yeah,
they're in it.
yeah. So there's some chemistry there.
Yeah.
I got Pablo, and then Paris Todd has her boyfriend, Hunter Johnson. Well, what
Yeah.
more
Who's also
incentive
her
do you?
mixed doubles partner and APP, and they win all the time.
So I like the chemistry. It's a little bit of a long shot because they're not proven on the, PPA circuit, but I like that. So I got Utah going against Atlanta with Utah winning
Yeah.
the whole thing. There you go.
So let me give you one thing real quick. First off, I love the picks and things like that, but I want to take a side. I want to move us to the side real quick. I
What
want to give you a
did I
fun
screw up?
fact. So no, so Simone, was the person who got Catherine Parento into pickleball, because Catherine Parento, as we talked about before, played at Michigan State, where Simone was the head coach, or not the head coach, one of the coaches of the tennis team. And so that is how that happened. But I'm going to transition us even further out because recently some Michigan State news came up. And last time you had some pretty outlandish things to say about the Michigan State team, but you are a predictor of things, and Michigan State recently fucked up. So go ahead and take your victory lap. Tell us a little bit about what happened at Michigan State. We're not happy about it, by the way. This is not like a happy thing, but go ahead.
It's disgusting. It's not happy. It's disgusting. It's perverted.
Yeah.
But it's not surprising. So wait a minute. I got to get the facts straight about Simone. She was a coach. She was a coach at Michigan State.
Correct. At least that's what I've heard. Catherine Parento was gotten into it from Simone.
Well, I know Parento went there. We've seen her in Michigan State colors playing. But
Simone Jardim was the head coach of the women's tennis team at Michigan State, 2015 through 2016.
Jesus. Well, at least she's only there a short period of time.
She was there for 8 seasons. I'm sorry.
8 seasons. There you go.
That's when she ended, was 2015, 2016.
What a despicable institution. Jesus Christ. I said it last time, it was despicable, and now it's just getting more absurd. You cannot even comprehend the level of moral turpitude that's going on at that university. Really? Yeah. That the team doctor molesting 1,000 girls, then they just tried to brush it over, and finally that caught up with them. And then and before this Tucker thing, what the hell? Nothing ever happened to those Michigan State guys that beat the hell out of the Michigan. I'm no Michigan fan by any means. Can't stand Michigan. But Jesus, that was an outright assault in the tunnel after the game. Pounded them with their helmets and kicked them, and nothing. No charges. What the hell was that? And the coach, no big deal. And you got the media darling, Tom Izzo, who's a piece of shit too. You know, he's got all kinds of 5-time felons and, just really despicable people on that. And I'm telling you, it's a culture in the university. No way. All these universities are woke and, progressive.
Yeah.
To have this in the athletic department.
Real quick. Now, MLP Atlanta, going back, I did ask you which 2 teams you thought were going to advance from each group. So Group A, we have the Atlanta Bouncers, which you mentioned earlier was that Parris Todd-led team. We have the Bay Area Breakers with Leah Jansen, your girl, Etta Wright, Rafa Hewett, and Connor Garnett. We have the Orlando Squeeze with Anna Bright, Andrea Daescu, Zane, and Rachel Rohrabacher. And then we have the Texas Ranchers with Dylan Frazier, Jorja Jansen, Laura Stratman, and Travis Rettenmaier. So which 2 teams do you think out of that group are advancing, my guy?
We already picked Atlanta, or I already picked. And you got Bay Area with Leah Jansen, Wright, Hewett, and Garnett.
All right, just like that. So you like Atlanta. A lot of people don't like Atlanta because they just play on like the lesser league or whatever. But I think, to your point, I like them. We're going to see how it goes, but I don't know. You can't knock team chemistry, and they have a lot of it.
Team chemistry, like I said, it's somewhat of a long shot. Yet what you need is a bookie, because I'm telling you could get them at a good number, and it would be a good long shot bet. So I'm not saying it's a lock, but they would be, if we had some FanDuel on that would be a good line.
Now that they're partnered up with PPA, I am curious to see like if they're going to be, because they roll the shit out very quickly anyway. So we'll ask Chris this week to check for us and see if we can get on those. But I agree with you. I would like to see what their odds would be because that'd be a good one. And Orlando Squeeze, I like Anna Bright. I like Rachel Rohrabacher. She played good the other day and stuff like that. Andrea Daescu. But honestly, I still don't trust Zane. I'm sorry to say it. I think he's a weird dude, but also I don't know. Ever since his Zane serve is gone, I don't see it, my guy. All right, Group B, which they're calling the Group of Death, which for good reason. We got the Chicago Slice, which we talked before with Ben Johns, the Utah Black Diamonds with Anna Lee Waters, the Dallas Pickleball Club, which we talked about as well, and the DC Pickleball team. So out of those four, which two are you seeing to advance?
Well, I already shat on Riley Newman in DC. I'm
Yeah,
more rooting against them than think they're gonna
because that's a
do
good
terrible.
team. That's a really good
Yeah,
team. The
I know.
Kawamotos
No,
were just in the finals in Cincinnati. Riley Newman is Riley Newman, and then Christian Alshon is no slouch himself. So yeah, I'm not feeling great about it, but I am
yeah,
actively rooting for that to implode.
yeah, and that's kind of same here. So for that, I mean, we already said I like the slice with Ben Johns, but he's going to really have to raise the ship with all those other players. I think. Uh, and especially with Jesse Irvine, she's been not playing well still. Could be post concussion issues or whatever it is. Um, and then the other team I see advancing, like I said, I think the winner who takes it all is Anna Lee, Tereshchenko, Wilson, and AJ Kohler. But Tereshchenko, that might have been just a luck, that she won. All her teams
So
won,
many or
right?
whatever. Yeah,
Yeah, whatever it was. Because
but her
I don't
partner's
know.
going to be Anna Lee Waters, and it's going to be either AJ and Thomas or Thomas, and they're both good players. So you know what I mean? Like you
Yeah,
can't really go wrong.
yeah. So
Yeah,
I
no,
picked them as the overall favorite.
yeah, I like that pick. And then, of course, the Group C, we have the AZ Drive. So you have Julian Arnold, Vivian David, Dekel Bar, Vivian Glasman, Brooklyn Aces, Catherine Parento, and Andrea Coop, Hayden Patriquin, and Tyler Loong. Columbus Pickleball Club, we have J.W. Johnson, Megan Dison, and Maggie Brassica and Colin Johns. And then finally, the Miami Pickleball Club, which is Fed, Tyson McMuffin, Hurricane, and Mary Brassica. So out of those four, who do you see advancing?
I may have misspoke earlier
Yeah.
because, but anyway, the two teams I see coming out, this may be because I'm a JW fan, but I like Columbus with JW, Dizom, Breska, and Colin Johns
Okay.
advancing. But that might be a sentimental favorite because I want to see JW go against Ben Johns, and so
Sure.
I'm not sure that's the strong. And plus, our girlfriend Dizon, we want to see her out there, but you can't trust her either. I mean, from what
No, you cannot.
we saw in Mesa, that was ugly. She
Yeah, if
didn't
she
win a
parties too
point.
hard, it's going to be rough for her.
Yeah, it's going to be rough. Yeah, if she has an early curfew, we might be all right. But anyway, the other good team, and I probably should put ahead of Atlanta, which I said Atlanta would be in the final. Miami, you gotta like that
Yeah.
team, right? McGuffin,
Yeah.
Stuxrud, our girl Hurricane, and then Mary Brassica. But Hurricane's gonna have to play above her. Do you know this little fact?
Talk to me.
She's the only one in the Premier League
Hmm.
that was undrafted in either league last year.
Yeah. She was,
So
and then you
she
got to
got
remember these things were drafted earlier this summer, so this was before she beat Anna Lee Waters and stuff like that. This was definitely a pick that was more on like an upside swing. Like we're just gonna like, take a swing for the fences here. They say that picking two males up front is also like a bit risky when it comes to MLP.
right.
You want to have some woman or whatever in there, but I think like pairing her up with Hurricane is going to be okay because Hurricane, if, as a long shot, it might have a lot of upside there.
Yeah, as long as she can hold her own, I think that's a good team. McGuffin's good in singles. You got Stuxrud, and so that's very solid. I don't know much about the Brassica girl. Uh, is that
Her
her
sister
twin?
playing.
Oh, that's her sister, not her twin
Yes, I
sister.
believe they're
Uh,
just sisters.
just sisters. We'll
Yeah.
have to get DNA
Well,
DNA
I want to tease this
confirmation.
one for next week. So next week, we might have a guest, Karen, and Karen has some hot takes on Hurricane Tyra Black. So get ready for that one.
Okay.
We're gonna be bringing it.
Well,
Um,
I like Karen. She's a straight shooter, knows her
yeah,
pickleball. She kicked
yeah.
my ass in pickleball, so yeah. All right,
We'll see
good
how it
luck.
goes.
Yeah,
All right. So again, so for Group A, you picked the Atlanta Bouncers and the Bay Area Breakers. Group
Yes.
B, you had the Chicago Slice and the Utah Black Diamonds. And for Group C, you had the Columbus Pickleball Club and the Miami Pickleball Club.
Yeah.
So who do you think out of all that is going to win it? You think you already
Yeah.
said it, but let's just hear it.
Yeah. I got to go over it again. Utah is going to beat Miami in the championship.
All right. I like it. I like it. I don't know. I don't disagree with any of those picks in particular. I would say that if gambling was available right now, we would definitely take some shots on one team chemistry. I think that's why Atlanta would be really good for this one because early on, you don't really know the players. You're still getting used to everybody and stuff like that. This is your first time being in competition. And I mean, we were in Mesa last year, which was the first time that they were all playing. I remember Hayden Patrick-Quinn looked way too small for the limelight of it and like kind of shit himself. And then they ended up losing in like the quarterfinals or the semifinals to New York because he just couldn't handle his own with Annalie Waters. And I think you'll see some things like that here, where because you don't have a good feel for your partner quite yet, there'd be a lot of good money to be made. And I do agree that the
Yeah.
Atlanta Bouncers would be a place where we want to put it, as well as just anywhere else where you could find some people who have played with each other before. And I mean, that's why I hate to say it, but I think you're underselling the DC pickleball team because at the very least, the Kawamoto sisters have played together quite a bit. That being said, Riley Newman is going to glare at both of them and be a complete shithead. And then Christian Alshon, I don't know, he's a choke artist, man. He's a choker. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see. But yeah,
Yeah. And Vegas wouldn't know the lines. They're not going on any chemistry or, oh, she played that. No. So Vegas wouldn't know what we know. I'm
correct.
serious. Early in this betting in pickleball, you're going to know as much as Vegas as far as individuals going against each other. So that's where you would have an advantage before they get all their metrics in order, and then they'll figure it out. But for right now, we don't think we can bet. But yeah, that's we'll see.
TBD. We will check it out. And yeah, I think the other one would be another potential watch out is the Brooklyn Aces because Catherine Parento and Coop have, I believe, played some together before. And then Hayden Patrick Quinn and Tyler Loong, I know, are potentially going to be partners next year. So they obviously have some type of chemistry working themselves. So we'll see how it goes. I'm really excited. It should be a really good week of pickleball. And at the very least, this is again why MLP is exciting is because it doesn't happen all the time, but when it does happen, you're just like, oh shit! Like I'm excited to see these weird pairings and see things kind of come up, and also hear that team aspect again. So if you are a listener and who watches this podcast but doesn't watch pickleball, first and foremost, thank you so much, and we really appreciate you. But if you do have a chance this week, definitely check out some of these games because it is very different type of pickleball than you would normally see. And so, take a look at YouTube, take a look at, I think it's on ESPN and the Tennis Channel. Find one of these games, watch it because it will be fun.
And if it's in your area, it's inexpensive. I'd go to if you like
Yeah, if you live
pickleball.
in Atlanta, you got to go.
It's entertaining. It really
Yeah,
is, even for
yeah.
the casual player. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, that's it for us. We did this one relatively short considering we talked about a ton of shit. So nice work there, Doc.
Yeah.
Any last bits of pearls of wisdom or anything you want to say before we get out there? You want to talk some more shit to Michigan State?
No, in fact, I'm glad you brought that up. In
Yeah,
fact, I'm being semi-serious. Like Parento, what'd she have to do with it? It wasn't her.
nothing.
It was all her. The players, especially
Yeah,
the female players, were the ones getting, you know, uh, on the bad aspect of that team doctor, that guy. And so, really, I shouldn't have any. But the department as a whole, athletic is terrible. But Parento, yeah, just
and
having to
Simone,
live through that.
we like him.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're sorry that you had to be there and
yeah,
you be
yeah,
associated with that shitty
yeah.
shitty
Right.
organization.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be probably a more mature way to look at it. It's too bad they had to be associated with those other uh, schmucks. I mean, that's too
yeah.
nice a word for those guys. And so,
Well,
yeah,
anyway, yeah, that's it for us. That's it for the Pickleball Jones. This has been another one. If you have made it this far, please like and subscribe on YouTube. If you are catching us in our podcast feed, do leave us a 5-star review. Not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 stars. Leave some comments too. We love to read comments and respond back. So, yeah, thank you all so much. Peace.
peace.